Well, happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're doing well and had a good week. We're looking forward to an exciting weekend. But it's time for us to do our normal Friday things. So today we have a mail call and a shout out. And the mail call is from David Espinoza. If you haven't checked out his channel, you really should. He's a guitar player extraordinaire. And if you play guitar, you can pick up some hints and some lessons from him on how to do sort of extraordinary things on the guitar to make your music more emotional and that. So please check out David Espinoza. But let's see what's in the envelope here. I pre-slid it just so I could get it out easily. And it's a CD, Rockist Records. I'm wondering if this is the band that he belonged to, because I know he belonged to a band for a number of years, and they were fairly popular in Spain, where he lives. So I'm wondering if this is from his band. But thank you, David, very much. I'll look forward to listening to this. Let's read the letter. Maybe that tells us what's going on. And his letter says, "Hello, Ian. I am so happy sending you this gift. As you sent me presents that represents your country, I send you a present that represents me and my music. I hope you like it, but I will understand if not. It is a bit hard music. Thanks a lot for your support and friendship. I want you to know my wife is addicted to your cook videos. I wish you the best. Your fan, David." And he's even done a little artwork of himself there. I don't know if you can see that. Well, thank you, David. That's amazing, and thank you to your wife for being a fan of my cooking videos. And I'm quite looking forward to hearing this. It sounds like it must be hard rock, and there's a part of me that kind of leans that way. So I think I'll enjoy listening to it. And if you're playing on here, David, then that'll make it that much more special. So thank you so much. So check out David Espinoza, and that'll be great. I'll put the thing up here, but I'll also put a link in my description, as I always do. All right, let's get to today's story. So today's story is one of sort of a strange happening, and it's called Preview of an Air Raid. In 1932, two German newspapermen, reporter J. Bernard Hutton and photographer Joachim Brandt, were sent to do a story on the Hamburg-Altona shipyards. An executive showed them around the place, and by the end of the afternoon their assignment was finished. Just as they left the shipyards, the two men heard the drone of aircraft overhead, and in a short while the noise of anti-aircraft guns drowned out all other sounds. Darkness had fallen, and soon the men saw bombs exploding all around them. Before long, the place was an inferno, and what they had first taken for a practice drill was all too clearly a full-scale air raid. They turned back to ask the guard at the gate if they could do anything to help. They were threateningly told to go about their business, and so the two newspapermen drove back to Hamburg. Although the sky had been dark throughout the attack, they were surprised to find Hamburg going about its everyday business by the light of an ordinary late afternoon. They stopped their car and looked back toward the shipyards. They, too, lay intact and unharmed in the fading daylight. When Brandt's photographs were developed, he had kept on shooting throughout the air raid, they showed nothing unusual. And when the editor heard their story, he accused them of being drunk on the job. Just before World War II broke out, Hutton left Germany to live in England. There, in 1943, he saw a newspaper account of a highly successful night raid by the Royal Air Force on the Hamburg shipyards. He sought more details of the attack and confirmed what he had guessed. The scene of destruction that he and Brandt had witnessed in the spring of 1932 had been real after all. They had just seen it 11 years before it happened. There you go. So there's an interesting story for you for today. What you make of that, what you will. Strange things happen in this world. Sometimes we just cannot explain them. Well, our joke for today kind of gives another shout out, but comes to us courtesy of Bits of Real Panther, and was sent to me by Sean, and I appreciate it. He tells jokes on his channel too, but he does sort of short one-liners, and he said this was too long for him, so that I might enjoy sharing it with my viewers. So here you go. Two brothers, they're a little elderly, sitting together one day watching a baseball game. And they're both just avid baseball fans, and had been since their youth. So as the two of them are watching this game on TV, suddenly one brother, the older of the two, grabs his chest, falls out of his chair on the floor, and dies. Well, of course, the younger brother calls the ambulance and all that, and he's down with his brother trying to do CPR, and finally the ambulance arrive, and the medics get there, and just as they're going to do something to try and zap the guy with a, what do they call that thing, pad? I can't remember. Public access defibrillator. Defibrillator, that's the word I want. With the defibrillator, he kind of pops his eyes open and looks up. And he sits up and says, "What's going on?" "Well, you died. You must have had a heart attack. I saw you grab your chest. You fell out of your chair and died." And the brother says, "Well, yeah, I did die, but why am I back?" "Oh, I remember now." He says, "I got up there and they told me I died before my time. And there was a mistake. So they sent me back to finish out my years." Well, the paramedics pack up all their stuff, and he signs a release, and off they go, and the two brothers sit down again, and the younger brother says, "Well, you gotta, what happened? What do you remember?" He says, "Well, I remember getting there, and I remember now I had a tour of heaven." "You did? You got to see heaven?" "Yeah, wow, what a wonderful, wonderful place." "Really? You got to see heaven? You got a tour of heaven?" Yeah. "Well, tell me, do they have baseball up there?" "Well, yeah, they do. There's good news and bad news about that." The younger brother goes, "Good news and bad news?" Yeah. Well, what's the good news?" "Well, the good news is, like I said, they have baseball up there, but it's just amazing baseball. I mean, I've never seen games like it on Earth. It's like 100 times better than any game we've ever watched on Earth. Just fantastic. Just amazing. I mean, I almost won't be able to watch baseball here anymore because this game up there was just so fantastic." "Wow, that really is good news. I'm so happy to hear that. Well, what's the bad news?" "Well, I saw the slate, and you're slated to pitch next Tuesday." Thank you, Sean, for sending that forward. That's our groaner for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I wish you all the best. Take care, stay safe, my friends, and God bless you. Have a marvelous weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday when we cook something up in the kitchen. We'll see what kind of mischief we can get into. Until then, God bless.